Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nick Baisley, and you're watching FilmSnobbery Live for the last time here in Massachusetts. That's why everything it looks incredibly different right now. There's no green screen because I actually sold it. That's gone, and basically the walls that are behind us are just the bare walls that were behind it. That we had built up and put some soundproofing on and stuff like that. So, yeah, we're on our way out of here. 3 more days, and but that's not going to stop us from putting on a wonderful last show for you. I want to, of course, welcome our co-host for the final time, because we're all sentimental like that. Jerry Cavallero. Jerry, say hi to the audience before we kick you back for the guests.
This is my last time saying hi to the audience. Hi, audience.
I can't wait to watch him cry. I just want to see the it's too bad I don't have a video feed of him. I just want to see the tears. I really...
I'll take a picture.
Yeah.
I'll twit pick it.
He's going to twit pick it. Nice. That said, we have 2 great guests for you this evening. We actually had only planned 1. They decided they were going to rock 2, so hey, who we to say no? We have an actor and a director, so great. We're going to get a really good kind of, I think, opinion and stories and stuff from 2 different perspectives. It's going to be real good. The guests are Lane Hughes and Jay Burleson. We're going to talk to you a little bit more about them in a second, but first thing I want to do is I want to show you a trailer to a movie that Lane did called Pop Skull. That is... I saw the trailer before the show, and I really dug it, so hopefully you guys will too. When we come back, we're going to talk with both Lane and Jay about working together, film festivals, a whole bunch of different stuff. So stick around, be right back.
My mom once told me about 2 brothers that lived in our house years before we moved in. One day they brought a young girl into their backyard and killed her. Then they killed themselves. Nobody knows why they did it. Maybe because nobody was ever able to ask them. Having a hard time distinguishing dreams from reality. Kind of see things.
Like what?
Ghost or something, I guess.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. May I welcome actor Lane Hughes, director Jay Burleson. Hello, guys. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. This is Lane.
Hey, guys. Yeah, man. Hey, so why not get right into it? I got a first question for Lane. Lane, I was kind of looking at a couple of the trailers and stuff that Jay had actually sent me before the show, and I noticed that you do a lot of movies that are pretty fucked up, and I love it. What kind of attracts you as an actor to roles like that, in these flicks?
That's a really hard question. I don't know. I just like more character-driven stuff, even if it's a horror or anything than darker characters. I don't know. I guess it's just the company you keep sometimes. They just think you look like you're magnetic, think you're being good, and killer or whatever, and kind of go with it, enjoy it.
I mean, do you like that, when they come to you, like, okay, so we got a flick about a serial killer, do you, before, you take the role, do you kind of do any, or when you take the role, do you do any research on it? I mean, how do you get into a character that's like, for lack of a better term, fucked up?
I kind of like to draw off my own emotions, I've never killed anyone, obviously, but, just try to read the character and think, well, I've never killed anyone. I've had fucked up feelings myself, everybody has, and just kind of try to put yourself there, draw upon a real time in your life, as best as you can, and use emotion.
I got you, man. Now, have you had any formal acting training, or was it something that you decided that you wanted to just jump into, or do you do any kind of training or mentoring or anything from anyone kind of on the side to kind of advance, or have you just been lucky enough that you're just like that natural freaking talent?
Well, I did a scene with a friend called Breakfast in Denmark, and we're fortunate enough that there were people like Donald Burleson and Dennis Cooper and stuff like that. And that's how I met Adam Peter. His first film, Homesick, was playing at a Birmingham Film Festival. And we became friends, and we started writing Popsicle together. And I wasn't going to play the lead, and one day he was just like, I really think you should play the lead. And I was just like, I don't know if I could do that. I've never acted a day in my life. And it's really Adam Wiener tricked me into being an actor, and I've been one ever since.
Cool. Now, how did you and Jay meet?
On the set of Halloween 2 in Atlanta, though we lived in the same town in Alabama since we were kids, we just never met each other. So Halloween 2 in Atlanta.
Halloween 2, and what was that experience like? I mean, I know that I think you both had acting roles in there, right?
We were extras. Yeah, we were extras in a party scene. It was pretty cool.
It was fucking nuts.
Yeah, that was our favorite film. Is the original Carpenter Halloween, and I had seen John around town, and like MySpace, Facebook. We never met, and then I see him and one of our friends, Bart Hyatt, pull up, and I'm like, man, I think that's those guys from Hartsville. And I went over and talked to them while we were standing in line with all the other extras, and we just hit it off. We've been best friends from there.
It was like fate, because they were turning people away to go on the last bus, like to the location, and they were turning other people away, and somehow the three of us managed to get on there, and that's how we really started our friendship. So once we got back to Hartsville, where we live, we just started hanging out, working on projects from there.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because that's kind of almost like how Jerry and I got started. My co-host. We met. We never officially met until I went to a film festival and met him. But I met him kind of beforehand with reviewing his movie, and that was kind of like where we started the dialogue. When we finally met in person, we started talking and stuff like that. And that was 3 years ago. The guy's one of my best friends at this point. So that I'm firing from the show. So it's going to be great. But it's cool to be able to work with your friends, but I guess there also it comes time where I guess working with your friends can be tough. Do you guys ever have any? I mean, do you guys kind of really respect the actor-director kind of relationship, or do you guys ever have you guys ever gotten in a fight over like, I don't know if this is how that character would play it? You know what I mean? Like in terms of like motivation or emotion or anything like that.
Working with John, I don't think John and I ever had a Jay, well, I call him John, Jay. Jay and I don't think I've had an argument or anything. Just kind of, he'll let me roll a few times. I'll ask him let's go, and he'll say, that's good, that's bad, change this, keep going. And it's pretty laid back. And that's similar to how Adam directs. He and I did get, Wingard and I have had one or two arguments. Like we were doing Popsicle, I remember, I was sitting out in the Walmart parking lot, and I was just like, man, what are we going to do about the rest of the movie? How are we going to, is it going to be, shadowy figures or what? I remember Adam just was under so much stress that he just flipped out. He was like, I don't know what the fuck they're going to look like. I don't know how we're going to do it. Arguments happen. You're making a project with it for me. But as far as Jay and I goes, I think it's always been pretty relaxed.
Cool. Awesome. And so Jay, you've got a project that you've worked on. You've got another project in post-production right now. You got a lot of stuff going on, actually. For the one that is completed is Feast of the Vampires. People might know you from. And then you have another one in post-production right now. What's that one?
The one I have in post right now is called The Nobodies, and it is a really crazy B horror movie, just like the most insane thing that you can imagine, shot on VHS-C cameras to passes like footage from the 1990s, and that is all cycled through documentary segments that go in between each act of the film itself. The documentary kind of details the making of the film and follows this low budget, no budget group of filmmakers in the early 90s making this terrible horror movie.
That's cool, man. And I just, this is the first time I've actually ever seen your picture in terms of what you sent me before the show. How often do you get mistaken for Frank Zappa?
I usually get Charles Manson a lot more and Jesus. Those are the main two. It's Manson and Jesus. That's really all I've ever.
Manson and Jesus. That's quite the dichotomy there, you know. It's just like that's what we call range.
Yeah, definitely.
I can either play a mass murderer or the savior of the world, whatever. You know. Cool, man. That's awesome. No, and so when is that expected to be? I mean, you're in post now. When do you have an expectation of that being ready for release?
I'm hoping to have it festival ready by summer or the start of next year.
Cool.
And you know, we're just gonna play it by ear, but definitely want to start submitting it to festivals sometime before this year ends.
And speaking of festivals, I mean, Lane, you're no stranger to film festivals either. You've got movies that have been at Sundance and stuff like that, like VHS this year, and that you were in, and also You're Next. We just showed obviously Pop Skull, which was in festivals, and another one that I'm going to show a trailer of in a moment called A Horrible Way to Die. What do you think of film festivals in the most general sense? Like, you go there, I know that when you and Jay go, you typically both have probably different motives, like yours might be more networking while, Jay's might be networking, but at the same time maybe also looking for distribution or maybe just, wanting to expand his audience or whatever. Like, what is your kind of goal when you go to a film festival?
I think you hit it right on the head. Networking, being amazing for an actor, and I just try to enjoy them for what they are, and try to take in some movies. But you find it hard when you're at the film festival to actually see movies. Like maybe you're there and you don't really get to see a lot of movies, and it's basically going to a lot of parties and getting fucked up and meeting people too. And it's there's some that are way more corporate and snobby than others, and there's some that are just completely laid back and there has a certain attitude, but. I think, you could go to one film festival and have a certain attitude, and that same person who's laid back at one goes to another, right. And they can be really uptight with thoughts. Maybe it's a big festival, maybe it's a bigger audience, I'm really nervous for any interview, even this, especially being kind of regular things or sit downs with people. I mean, it just really, I think it's nerve-wracking to be interviewed, really.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a hard after just listening to you talk about it.
Yeah.
No, and it's you're right in terms of there are different feelings you can get from different festivals. Some are more snobby than others, stuff like that. Sidewalk, I was there as well, and it was really laid back. Probably one of the most fun festivals I've ever had. And even when I spoke with the people who run the festivals, like Alan Hunter and Chloe Collins and Rebecca Hughes, stuff like that. We were talking, and they said, no, this is a festival where we just want people to have fun. And it's funny because this year was my first year at Sundance and Slam Dance as well, and I thought that was like the perfect yin and yang between ultra snobby film festival and just kind of party hangout festival. And in terms of and the funny thing is they're both on the same street. I go to the top of the hill and it was Slam Dance and it was fun. I go to the bottom of the hill and it was all work. And it's just
right.
It was weird. It was totally an experience. And so. Do you guys have? You know what? First of all, we'll go back to the film festival in a second. I do want to go ahead. I actually do want to play the trailer for a Horrible Way to Die before I forget, because chances are I will, because I am a horrible host. But
well, we're horrible guests, so
yeah. No, thankfully you guys showed up. That's great. You're already one above most of the. You'd be surprised how many people don't show up sometimes, and it's just all right. Well, I guess Jerry and I are just going to talk this week.
Yeah.
But guys, we'll be right back. You guys out there in the audience, stay with us. And if you have any questions for Lane or Jay about either acting or directing, film festivals, any of that stuff, even horror or whatever, just questions in general about life and stuff and such, boobs, I don't know. Send them on in over to Jerry. Will take your questions in the chat room and he'll filter them on over to me, and we'll go from there. But we'll be right back. We're going to show you a trailer right now for Horrible Way to Die, and when we come back, more with our guests. Stay around.
If you're gonna die, and you knew you were gonna die, and you could choose how, what would you choose?
You don't want to come back to bed with me?
Of course I do. I thought I'd go for a walk and come get right back in bed.
I was in a pretty bad relationship. He was not very honest with me about a lot of things.
Is ready to accept the things I cannot change.
Everything he said in group was really vulnerable and great. It's really good that you could do that.
Manhunt continues tonight for Garrett Terrell, who remains at large after escaping from police custody.
Are you scared? A little, yeah. He's coming up.
He knows where you live.
You know, you don't understand. They'll kill you too.
All right. Horrible way to die. Loving it. All right, guys. So we're back with our guests, Jay Burleson, Lane Hughes. Lane, question for you in terms of being an actor. Now, unlike being a director where you have complete control over pretty much, unless you're working with a studio, I guess, you have complete control over pretty much what comes out at the end. As an actor, you're really only in control of what you bring to the table and what the director shoots or the DP shoots. How have you ever been disappointed with how you've looked at anything, and you have directors you've worked with ever been open to your input as an actor? Because I know that a lot of people kind of shy away from that.
And when Adam and I were finishing pop school, we were living together and sleeping in the same room, and at his parents' house. So I was there every day for editing, and at first I didn't like watching myself. I didn't like hearing myself talk. I still don't, but after seeing him, edit, an entire movie, with me sitting there and I'm the lead in it, kind of get used to it. And I've been fortunate enough to work with directors that usually edit their own things, and they always, have ended up making me, look good or better than I did. I mean, there might be some times where I know on Your Next, I had a bad injury a few years ago, and I had a really bad flare-up, and I had to go to the hospital 2 days before a big dialogue scene, and I was on steroids and painkillers and antibiotics and all this stuff, and I just couldn't, concentrate, and I had this big dialogue scene, and I wanted to cry after I did it, because it took me about 10 takes to nail it, and it just, I was just like, man, I'm gonna ruin this movie. They're never gonna want to work with me again. Then when I saw the rough cut the last time I was in LA, when I was in LA, I was just like, oh, it didn't turn out that bad. And I guess the reason is you have to trust in your director to know that he's gonna make you look good as he can make you look. Because if he doesn't, he's gonna look like a jackass too.
And how about you as a director, Jay? Do you typically welcome any input from the actors in terms of their performance, or do you pretty much just say all right, cut, perfect, moving on, and then just kind of, show them the final cut at the end?
We usually let it breathe a little bit when we're working it out, and I'll start recording. Because you shoot on tape, you can shoot, as long as you got the schedule to do it, you can shoot as much as you want and just kind of let it breathe and build it as you go. And I usually work with the same people. I've got a base of actors that I trust. So I feel like at least I've gotten to be able to play into their strong suits. Mm-hmm. And I think that helps at this level of filmmaking, because it's, you can only do so much. I think you have to have an open mind as a director doing no-budget films more than anything else, because you're so limited in your resources at times that you just have to be able to be spontaneous and change things as far as anything in the script, actor's performance, or where the scene even takes place sometimes. So
Right.
I'm pretty free form with my actors, I think.
Cool.
What do you think, Ryan?
Oh, no, I mean, like I said, Jay and Adam, Jason Keener, Daryl Murphy, just Chris Hillicky, just, you know, you may or may not know these people, it doesn't matter, but everybody I've worked with is usually a friend, and they all kind of have a great take on being a director, is that they work with you, you know, and you may feel stupid, or you may feel insecure, or you may not know how to do it, and you guys just work as a team. And you asked me earlier about you know, formal training. One actor I've learned more from than anybody is a guy named Brandon Carroll, and he was in A Horrible Way to Die, and he was Pop Skull and as my best friend, and he's just a great guy and a great actor, and I've learned the most from him, and watching him talk to him. He's the kind of guy that goes on, you know, 10, 12 auditions a week, and you know, I never go on auditions or anything, so he's like really in the thick of shit, you know, and I learned a lot from him, and I think I've learned a lot from going from you know, a backyard setup to you know, like Your Next had a pretty decent budget, and you know, you learn as you go. Like I feel a lot more experienced now that I've been on a bigger set, and versus just, you know, kind of like riding around and convert to location to location, you know.
Now, one of the things that a lot of people say is you don't, especially with independent film, is you don't need to be in like a hot spot of film like LA or New York or something like that in order to be successful. You guys are both incredibly prolific in terms of, you know, you got, you know, Lane, you've got a great resume of films you've already worked on. Same thing with Jay, you've got a lot of stuff that you've been working on and that are coming out as well, that are in post-production. How do you guys feel at all that at some point you will have to make a choice of either staying where you are or moving forward in your careers? Because that's what we're doing. I mean, we're you know, I'm moving FilmSnobbery to LA because I'm out of resources here in Massachusetts and I want to grow what I do. So do you guys kind of feel the same way that at some point you're going to have to make a decision to, you know, permanently transplant yourselves from where you are now over to one of the major kind of, you know, hubs of where film is?
Oh, yeah, sure. Like, I don't think I'm ready to go to LA or New York. You know, right now, if I saw myself moving, I would maybe go to Atlanta, something like that. But, you know, I mentioned Brandon Carroll. You know, he went out to LA. One thing that he told me is, as an actor, don't go unless you've already done as much as you can do in the place that you're at, or like your regional area. Don't do 1 or 2 projects, like be an extra in something and automatically assume you're going to go out there, because everybody's out there for the same thing. And I would just say do as much as you can in your area and reasonably, and try to hit the internet, and then when you're ready to take that leap, you know, take it, move to a bigger city. But definitely there's, especially with me, there's going to be, at least in the next year or two, we're going to have to, you know, hit a bigger city, even if it's, you know, still in the South, but even some Atlanta spot for film in the South. So.
Cool.
I feel basically the same. I mean, I'm still just trying to build up, do as much as I can in Alabama. And after that, I'm sure I'll have to move on somewhere bigger. I'm fortunate enough to do so, but right now I'm just trying to do anything and everything I can in Alabama with basically no money, just build it from there.
No, it took us through basically a little over 3 years to do that ourselves. I mean, we started here, we cultivated our audience, we called it. Now, the good news is that, I mean, between you know, what we do and what you do, the difference is that what I do is almost primarily online, almost entirely online. You guys at the end have a physical product that you have to go out and market and sell, and you know, you have to go to places to do that, film festivals and stuff like that. For me, I guess my goal is a little bit different. I go to a film festival basically to talk to you versus trying to sell something or to put on to make a presentation of some sort. It's kind of, yeah, it takes time, and I guess there are levels, and I think that the people who have a hard time moving to a place like LA or New York are the people who they decide, like, I want to be in this industry, that's what I want to do, and they go day one. And I think that, they have no contacts, they have no help, they have no idea of the industry, but they know they want to be in it. I think those are the people that have a little bit of trouble versus the people who kind of take their time and scope stuff out. I guess it's a bit of planning and stuff like that. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, I definitely agree with, like, you can make a movie anywhere, but where are you going to sell the movie? You guys have been lucky enough to be at, some of the larger festivals and stuff like that, and so, you've been able to get your films in front of, people who are in a position to acquire them. Not everyone is that lucky, so that's good, and you've been able to do it not within the system.
Right.
So
yeah, it's film festivals for lower budget filmmakers. A film festival is not just trying to get out there. The main thing is to try to obtain distribution. I think is what everybody hopes. Especially when you're at a bigger festival, you're like, God, I hope somebody picks up this movie.
Yeah. Because I was looking at Pop Skull. Just briefly, I was looking at some information. I think it was Pop Skull. Was that the one that was made for like $3,000 or something like that? It looks great.
Yeah, we made that for $3,000. Actually borrowed equipment from friends and tapped out Adam's dad's credit card. Like, I was going to school at college. I had 2 jobs, and one day, he's like, "You want the short film?" The short film turned out to be, like, no, we'll do a series. Then it turned into like, no, okay, we're going to do a full-length feature. And I quit my job, quit school. He wasn't working at the time, and I'm from North Alabama to South Alabama for basically 2 years, and we just borrowed equipment and, lived with his parents, and, had no life outside of the film because we were broke or trying to get something, filmed. And there would be times it was just me and him at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we'd get up, and he would be like, "Man, the fog looks great outside. You want to go shoot some stuff?" And that's kind of what was so fun about that film. Is it just at any moment, it's not lead, he's the director, the cameraman, and at any time he's like, "The rain looks great, why don't you go walk out the rain?" It was pretty cool. But it's $3,000 down. Hunter helped us with that one a lot. The Hughes brothers or whatever, or no, the Hunter brothers. I'm sorry, the Hunter brothers in Birmingham, which are a big part of the sidewalk. They helped us out. They let us borrow some equipment. And the first day we had their X's, I remember Adam dropped it and it busted the screen on it, and we were just like, "It's over with." And we're going to borrow any more equipment ever. And they were just like, "Oh man, here's another one."
Wow.
And that movie for $3,000. I think that's what caught a lot of people's attention about that film was that it was made for so little, and we ended up being fortunate to premiere our world premiere was in Rome, Italy. The first time I ever got on an airplane out of Alabama was to fly to Italy, and come back and then get AFI for the North American. And that was just a really big deal for us and that's a movie.
Yeah, one thing I would like to add, like what you just said about Possible, they made it for $3,000, and like that movie didn't end up being like worldwide theaters everywhere, but it launched them, and Adam and Lane both kept working, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Is like, you can't just make a movie and be satisfied after making that movie and make another movie. You just keep working and constantly try to be prolific with quality, and just keep building and take the resources that you get from what you did on your last film and build up to something more, and so hopefully you get to where you want to be.
Now, as a director, Jay, do you try to make a lot of different things, or do you kind of try to stay towards like your certain strengths or anything like that, to like whether it's to build your portfolio or to show your range as a director or cinematographer, or I don't know if you do everything on everything. Basically, a lot of these things are one-man shows. I know.
Well, yeah, I've pretty much been a one-man show just out of necessity, but I try to do whatever I can afford to do, and usually that's horror, and that's why I do a lot of B horror movie stuff, because you can get away with stuff if you don't have a lot of resources, or you have to get the guy down the street and in the movie. He might be really silly, but he gets life through performance, and it's okay because the movie has that heart and that spirit anyway. But right now I'm also just finished a drama that is just a straightforward low-key drama as opposed to the more zany horror comedy stuff I do. So I'm branching out, and I feel like I'm growing into a kind of a different perspective as a director and trying to branch out from just doing silly B horror movies.
Yeah, and as far as like silly B horror, now that said, like I love old school like 70s and 80s horror, you know, which has, you know, a combination of campiness and also, you know, I always thought that the stories were fairly well developed. And do you focus a lot, Jay, on story first? You spend more time on story first before you say, okay, now we're gonna go shoot, or do you just kind of go like, okay, here's the concept, this is what I think we're gonna do, let's just go shoot it, and you know, we'll develop it as we go, or like, what is your kind of style as a writer director?
I definitely try to have a really solid story, mainly for the horror stuff I have. The drama I did, we really let it breathe, but for this last horror comedy thing that we did, we had a real, I think it's a pretty detailed story. There's a lot of changes, characters in one act are in one situation, and then they end up in the exact opposite. Things change. It's got a lot, I think a lot of meat to it, but it's just presented in a really outrageous way. But yeah, I definitely focus on the story. I think that the key to everything is having a story and breathing life into something that you get excited about.
Cool. Now let's talk for a second about challenges and the shittiness of making independent films sometimes, where you just.
I don't think we have enough time to do that.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We'll just do this thing for a week straight. We'll be good.
Okay, it sounds good.
But you know, I mean, independent film is hard. I mean, if it was easy, everyone would be making a movie, and there are a lot of people who now think that they're going to make a movie, and we see all that shit on YouTube. But you know. There's a lot of stuff that goes into not only making the movie, promoting the movie, all this stuff, and at every step is fraught with fucking, you know, there's just trouble, and it sucks. You got people telling you you can't do it. You have people, you know, sometimes even your family that says like you really should pick another fucking career. You know. You have obviously there's the monetary issues of making a movie, especially when you want to make something at a certain level of quality, and you just can't financially make that happen. There's you know, the frustrations that go into distribution. I think it's even more frustrating when there are, not even when there are no offers, but when there are potential offers and you're waiting for shit, or you don't get, you know, the response you were hoping for after waiting forever. You know, it seems like it is an industry of either hurry up and wait, disappointment, no, with momentary sparks of you're in, you did a good job. What stands out in your head in both of your heads? We'll start with Jay. What stands out what's your head stands out as the shittiest part or even moment of making any of the films that you've made? Like, what is the low point of your career?
Let's see. There's so many, man. I don't know. There's always a roadblock. I'm talking 6 months roadblock or a year and a half roadblock, where you're like scraping together a cast, and I shoot for nothing. I'm talking like the last movie we did, there's probably $1,000 in it total. And when you're doing that, you always hit a place where it's like some actor, like really just your friend, doesn't show up anymore, or someone has an accident and they're out of commission, and you're just put on hold, and you have to stop everything. You're pouring your entire life into it, and then it just like comes to this screeching halt, and you have to wait it out, and you have to figure out how the fuck you're going to replace this actor, and you got like a mask on this character who's not supposed to be wearing a mask in the middle of this fucking band. It doesn't run. It is freezing outside, and you're just like, why do I make movies? But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you're happy that you're just doing it. So I mean, but those are the type of things that definitely stick out in my mind. It's just like you feel like your movie's never going to get done, and then sometimes it gets done, and there's nobody to see it. But by the time it's done, you hate it. Yeah.
That's funny. Jerry, my co-host Jerry, had said something like that very recently. I can't remember where he posted it. It might have been on, I can't remember if it was a blog post, or I can't remember if it was somewhere recently where he said, like, you know, you can't, by the time the whole thing is done, you just don't even want to fucking watch your movie ever again. Like, you just can't stand the sight of it because you've seen it so many times. How about yourself, Lane? Where at what point were you like, you know, do you ever come to a point where you were just like, yeah, this isn't fucking working out? Like, gee, like.
I'm kind of there now. Like, I mean, I I worked at KFC, like a local Kentucky Fried Chicken, as a cashier and cook, and you would look at me going to film festivals or my IMDb, whatever. You're like, well, this guy's doing decently well for himself to be like, from out down, whatever. But it's like, it's not, it's not everything as it seems, and it's just like I found myself in a situation right now where I have enough money to buy a really decent home studio, like every piece of equipment I need. I'm primarily a musician, and I do hip hop beats, and I do rock music, and as well. And I've got people telling me like, man, that's a lot of money to drop on a dream. Do you think it can get your investment back and stuff? And it's just like, well, I've already accomplished all this stuff, basically, with nothing. I hope that this can go the same, if not better. People are always, especially family, are always like, you need to get your shit together. You're living a dream, a pipe dream, or whatever.
You want to be a rock star. It's like, that's how they see it.
You think you're going to be Brad Pitt, or you think you're going to be Mick Jagger, and it's like, no, we just want to do art and make a living at it, and we don't even have to be, there's all kinds of people in the world that make a living or supplemental income doing their art, and you'll never know the names. Like, you'll never hear of them, but somehow they found a way to do it. That's what we're looking for, is a way to do that,
Totally. And look, I would never give shit to KFC, because I love me some KFC. I look like I live on it.
Right.
Now, and the question is it a KFC Taco Bell combo place, or is it just KFC?
It was supposed to be a KFC A&W, but they didn't install the A&W, so we just have a massive KFC.
That's fine, and also, let me tell you, I mean, the thing I miss is, I remember this one trip I was taken down from Chicago. I went down through Indiana and Kentucky, and I was driving on the highway, and I stopped off for lunch, and it was a Kentucky Fried Chicken, but it was a Kentucky Fried Chicken buffet, and I thought I had already had the heart attack and gone to heaven.
Right,
because
where I work at.
And then I went in there, and I saw, it was like walking into the Mos Eisley Cantina, all right? The amount of friction generated by the thighs rubbing together in that place could have powered a small town.
Oh yeah, man, I mean, we have this thing every Tuesday called a senior buffet. So the buffet is like $5.45 when it's normally like $8.50 or something. So literally, we'll sell like 300 buffets in 3 hours, and that place is just a fucking madhouse of senior citizens. When like an MCAT's bus rolls up and you're a cook, and you look outside and there's like 60 old people getting off, you're just like, God damn it,
Oh yeah, I can imagine just the word fuck escapes everybody's mouth at that place.
Oh yeah, man, I mean,
I love it.
It's set up when you gotta get high at work just to get by,
No, dude, I'm high right now. No, I wish I was. That's why another reason why to go to Los Angeles. Medical marijuana. You're good to go. But now, and also, I mean, when you said you have a home studio, I didn't know you also did a lot of music. That's great. I love that. And you being from the South, when you said hip hop beats rock, I was just like, man, Freebird. Where's my Freebird? Yeah.
My hip-hop group is a friend of mine named Blake and myself, and it's called Aunt Vi. It's named after Aunt Vivian from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, actually. That's our production name. We just do instrumentals, and my rock band is called The Dash In Between, and there's actually a video on YouTube and Vimeo. If you'll type in The Dash In Between, Salt Over My Shoulder, Silly Superstition is the name of the song. Adam Wingard directed that video. It's on the Pop Skull DVD because the riff that's the bass line in that song was a riff that my character plays in the movie Pop Skull. Like, there's a scene where I'm playing the guitar and they're like, come up with something. So I came up with this riff on the guitar. Ended up being a bass line, and so we decided to cut, a track for the movie and a video for the movie. I would like to say that I'm rapping on some of Jay is a great rapper. But if you ask me to rap on this show, I swear to God,
I will walk off your shitty internet show. That is the last show you're going to be doing for months anyway. No, it's all good, man. No, that's cool though. I mean, it's great to have that you, not only as an actor, but you've developed other skills outside of that but are still relevant to film. Like if you wanted to compose themes or anything like that.
The movie that was picked up by IFC that I also acted in, what was it called, John? Autoerotic. Joe Swanberg and Adam Wingert did.
I know your career better than you.
Yeah, you know my career better than me. Autoerotic, I scored most of it, and then I gave Joe Swanberg a track for his film Uncle Kent. I scored almost the entire Feast of the Vampires, Jay's movie. I scored most of it, so yeah, I mean, it comes in handy, you know.
Cool, man. No, and Jerry actually went ahead and posted on in our chat room too a link to that video you mentioned earlier, and also we made sure to throw a link in for Jay, I believe your Blogspot website.
Cool, appreciate it.
And as well as your Twitter account. Elaine, are you on Twitter as well?
I used to be, man, I got really sick of social networking for a while and I deleted everything, pretty much, and now like I'm starting to, kind of get the tolerance and the fire back to want to promote on the internet, because I've realized that like with this music thing is what I'm concentrating on now, as well as trying to get films finished with Jay and hopefully, with some other people. I have a passion for both, but with the music I have more control, I would say, and I just am trying to hit like all the avenues at once, like contact people locally, regionally, work out through there, hit up some movie people I know in LA, and then stream on the internet, try to go through every avenue at once.
Right.
So I'm definitely gonna get back my Twitter and all my official fan pages and all that garbage, and bother people, people about like, hey, go listen to this, hey, do you want to be on this, hey, will you rap on this, hey, will you post this, and basically harass everybody like everybody else does,
Yeah, that does happen. I love the fact that like we're running a crowdfunding campaign right now, and it's funny that I am just beset daily by people like, can you help me promote my campaign, my crowdfunding campaign? I'm like, I'm doing one myself over here. It's like, it's like, I'll tell you, I mean, like, I'd be happy to post on it. Like, if you could throw me a shout out or something, it'd be great. But it's like, most people are just like, no, give me money. And I'm like, but I need money too. Social media can be a huge pain in the ass sometimes. I'll be the first to admit it. And especially when you start getting, I mean, I know this is more like when they say like white people's problems, or first world problems or whatever. When you start getting like a larger following, it's so hard to like fucking just pay attention to everybody. I mean, you want to, but you can't, and it sucks. Anyway.
Speaking of that, you better be following me on Twitter by the time this is over with.
I'm not following you on
problems.
Hold on a second. I have to be following you on Twitter. I'll do it right now. Hold on, Jay.
Why is FilmSnobbery not following me on Twitter?
Well, it's because Twitter's been freaking fucking with people's their accounts, where they've been unfollowing people. Are you aware of there is a Twitter bug out there for everyone who doesn't know, where people you have been following in the past aren't following you now.
I saw that. This one guy lost like 20,000 followers like overnight or something, and there was some people on my timeline were talking about it, so I caught wind of that.
Yeah, it's such a pain. And also, my friend Alexia Anastasio in the chat room also said that they were following you. And Jerry says, I follow Jay, but he doesn't follow me.
Well, I'll get on that as soon as this is over.
He's Jerry's is at Get Stuck. So there we go. But guys, if you have any other links or anything you guys want to pimp out or anything like that before we toss you off this show.
No, this is Lane, and I'm good. I've had a lot of fun doing this interview, and it's cool that we're like the last one that you'll be doing before you take off. Good luck with you guys move out there.
We just cursed you, it's over.
It's totally over. Yeah, we're fucked. If it makes you feel like that, we were fucked from Jump Street, so it's all fine, No, I think that it's going to be a nice little adventure. It's great to have both of you guys on and to kind of give us a farewell, especially because, people from down south, I love the sidewalk, and you guys all treated me really...
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You got some capacity.
Yeah, man, you guys all treated me really well down there, and it was really cool and I would love to go next year. I haven't been invited for the next year's one yet, but I'm sure...
It should be in late August, early September.
Yeah. Yeah, they invited me. I met them last year at South by, and I didn't go to South by this year, but I think they contacted me a couple months after, so I'm sure my invitation's in the mail. If not, well, fuck me.
Dirty letter for you.
Yeah, I know people there, so I can tell them to invite you.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, guys, and I want to see whenever whenever the flicks you guys are working on next come out. I really still want to see VHS. I will say I was really pissed off that I was at Sundance and Slamdance. I was there for an entire week and I saw 0 fucking movies because I was just stuck doing interviews.
What I was saying earlier is like you go to these film festivals and you don't end up watching anything.
Yeah, and I totally want to see VHS because it really just got so much stuff. Feast of the Vampires. Jay, where can we find Feast of the Vampires out there?
It's up on Amazon through Create Space and through our website, feastofthevampires.net. Watch it at your own risk. No, I'm just kidding. That's fun. It's zany.
Jerry, go ahead and link feastofthevampires.net up in the chat room for everyone out there, just to make sure that we got look at Jerry's right on it. I see it right there. Perfect, awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on the show and being our final guests here in Massachusetts. And even though you're not in Massachusetts, but we are, we can't wait to get the fuck out of here. Oh God, if I could jump in my car now, I would.
Good luck, man. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was director Jake Burleson and actor and musician, composer Lane Hughes. So it was great having them on. I'm excited because we're coming down to the final 10 minutes of the show, and that means that it's time to talk with our good friend, and by good friend I mean we fucking tolerate him. His name, you know him, Jerry Caballero. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. I like how you keep using the royal we the entire show.
I can't help it.
We're going to LA. We're going to LA. I'm like, no, I'm not.
We're not going anywhere. You're ditching me. Yeah.
Wait. You said I'm ditching you?
I'm ditching you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge, and Jerry, you're staying here.
So, anyways, Mr. Fancy Pants, what's up?
Not much.
It's got the show. The rest of this show is on you now because you're the one who's leaving. I'm leaving, but I'm coming back.
Yeah, I was expecting some type of goodbye clip show tribute montage thing.
Fuck you. That requires work.
Or even just a graphic on the screen that's we'll miss you.
No, the graphic that's on the screen now. I went classic. Aquaman.
Okay. Nice. I'm not watching the show.
Yeah, well, that doesn't really fucking surprise me. You haven't watched the show since we started.
Even though my connection is great now, I still, when I watch the show, the audio is a little bit worse for some reason. And, when we had the guests on, I could barely hear them sometimes. The audio just gets screwed up.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't, jump in. I wanted to jump in when they were, when you brought me up.
Right.
If I do that, then they'll probably get a massive echo that'll just kill the show. So
yeah, probably.
Bring Megatron back.
On the plus side, yeah, that was awesome. On the plus side, you sound really good now. So whatever you're doing, continue doing it. But
I've always done.
So what are you gonna do with your Thursday nights now?
I thought I'm still moderator of the chat.
All right, good. I wanted to just make sure that was still the plan. So Jerry will still be around, folks. He's just not going to be...
I'm free? I don't have to serve you anymore?
No, I do not release you, Jerry. But no, and Jerry may still make an occasional appearance, on the show. It's just...
I think it 2 weeks before Leah Savoli is like, I can't stand being your co-host, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And you're like, fine. Jerry, come back.
Oh, that's pretty much what'll happen, I'm sure. You know, I mean, it seems like I can't hold onto a co-host for more than like a year. So, except for...
Technically, I was never your official co-host. I was just here.
Yeah, that's true. You
I
just kind
showed
of...
up.
Nice. And Bobby Bless actually says, haha, I love that Jerry's Aquaman. He said, I'm Batman here. Does that make Nick Wonder Woman? No,
Yes, it does.
I'm fucking Superman, and you better fucking remember it. I don't know. If anything, I think I'd be Green Lantern or Martian Manhunter.
Really? You're Superman?
I don't even want to go Superman. I think I'll go, like I said, I'll go Green Lantern or I'll go Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
I have no fear.
I can't even say like I can see that or like I'm just like okay.
It's funny because as much of a nerd as Jerry is, Jerry's not in the least a comic book nerd.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I love me some Batman, but mostly the movies and the animated series.
Yeah.
Although I have read some Batman comics.
But I think what we need to talk about right now that we, because we only have a few more days, is we need to talk about our Indiegogo campaign because we're fucking almost there. We have less than 3 days left. And at last count, we are at, and I think even the graphic I have on the screen is wrong. I think we actually have gotten a donation in between now and then. We are at, I'm refreshing the page right now, $3,929 of $5,000. So we are less than $1,100 away from our goal. So with 3 days left.
Nothing. That's chump change.
It is. It's fucking, come on guys, petty cash. That's what that is. So,
yeah, donate.
Donate. Give me.
Help support the campaign to get rid of me as co-host.
Definitely. We need, it's like, change, hope and change and all those things. They all come down to getting Jerry the fuck away from me. No.
I was wondering how you were going to tie that into something. And you didn't even go clever. You were just like, yeah, we need change. We need, get Jerry the fuck away.
Yeah, I totally just went you were like, we need change.
I thought you were come up with some great analogy or something.
Like change, but not the kind in your pocket. You need the kind that folds. I don't know. That's more like, I don't know. I got nothing. See, even Alexia beat me to it. Alexia,
why would I want to contribute to such a terrible show?
No, Alexia beat me to it. She said, "Who needs change when you need dollar bills? Dollar bill, y'all. Come on, give me money." No, I don't know. We've really got some great things planned when we go to LA. I mean, more than just changes in the faces you see in front of the camera, new location, new studio. I think we have an interim studio we'll be using while we prepare another one. I don't know. I'm trying to get all the details. I will say the most frustrating fucking thing about doing this, not only the campaign, but doing this move, is that nothing is set in stone. People are going to be like, they're great, I can't wait to see you in LA. I'm like, I hope you got a shower, because I literally have no place to live, and I probably will smell. So, that's been frustrating, but at the same time...
Where did smell that, Nick?
Well, what the thing is of it is that, it's tough because LA is so big, so I've held off physically looking for an apartment because it's where am I going to be the most? Where's the studio in relation to where I want to live, which is in relation to where I'll be most often, blah, blah, blah. Because LA is huge, so I don't want to get a studio apartment in West Hollywood when I'm going to be working out somewhere else that is nowhere near there, I mean, it's just one of those things where, gotta think practically. So I figure I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna actually hang out with my friend Melanie from M4PR, Melanie Marquez. We're gonna go out and we're gonna drive around one day and she's gonna show me around LA and gonna show me where stuff is so I can kind of start getting an idea in my head where shit is in relation to each other. So that's gonna be fun. And I'm gonna get a look at the studio in person. I actually got pics of the studio the other day. But I want to go see it in person. I got to find out what we can move around, what we can change, what we can't. But I can't do that until I meet the people that I'm going to be working with. And other details to that. But we have no fewer than 2 new shows in development right now. We have a huge opportunity for independent filmmakers to distribute their films, and I shouldn't even say distribute their films, get their films in front of an audience, and make money. We have our screening series. We have, which I just had a meeting about the other day. and I'm really excited with the potential that that's going to bring. I've got just so much shit in the hopper right now, guys. Like, you know, when you're supporting us, you're not just supporting a guy getting in his car and moving to the other side of the country. You're supporting other independent filmmakers as well. You're supporting us, supporting you. And that, to me, is what we've always been about. And if you want to see all of these projects come to fruition, the only way we can do it is by kind of getting a leg up on where we are now in our new home. You know, the sooner we can kind of get back into production and things that, you know, business as usual, the sooner we can get these new projects rolling. So give me money. That's all I gotta say. The link is, Jerry will post the link in the chat room, but you can go to indiegogo.com/movingforward. And yep. So there you go. Jerry, any comment on that? Help us.
Sorry, I was muted because I was typing in the link, and I know that always like comes up really loud when I type.
That is true.
So yeah.
But
yeah, nothing else with the campaign. Give Nick money, because you know Jerry Maguire would each help us help you. It's applies. So
yeah, Jerry, you had me at hello.
Aww.
But I think that, you know, with...
I thought you were going to continue saying nice things about me.
No. We're gonna go back. We're gonna
like you get one quote and that's it.
We're gonna go back to our the campaign for 1 second though, because there are a lot of people who have donated recently that deserve a special thanks. Obviously, the first one is our most recent contributor, Liv Violet, who donated like literally a half an hour ago. Jerry Dennis, one of the co-hosts on Things I Didn't Learn in Film School, which I really want more episodes of. I keep saying it like every few episodes or so, like, but I'm dead fucking serious, and I will do whatever I have to do to get more of that show into production. So maybe 3 shows.
I want that too, because last time I talked to those guys, I'm their next guest.
See, that's what I think should happen is this, Jerry. You ready? I think Jerry should become a co-host of Things I Didn't Learn in Film School. That's what I think should happen. I think it should be Jerry.
I want Jerry completely gone from film school.
It should be Jerry, and Francis, and Paul. 4 of you. I think that's what it should be. You, Francis Abbey, Paul Bassetti, Jerry Dennis, and Jerry Cavallero. That to me is like a dream team of fucking independent film and personality.
The Beatles of independent film podcast.
Yes, and where you're like the 5th Beatle.
That is before.
It doesn't matter. You're still the fucking 5th Beatle.
Okay, I thought I was gonna be Ringo, so at least I might have a chance of being.
I also want to go ahead and I want to say thank you to the Lowell Film Collaborative, specifically Suze. Hi, thank you again for your donation as well. Good friend Alana Gordon from AG Photography. She's a good friend of mine as well. I want to say thank you to her. We did get our first $1,000 contribution the other day. So they took up the $1,000 presenting sponsor slot. So they actually donated technically more than $1,000. They donated $1,040, which is odd, but okay. I want to also thank Martin Dansky, and I want to thank PJ Harling, DC Cassandra, and Casey Cassidy. I mean, there's so many people here to show and to, you know, to bring up here, but I guess at the end of the day, I want to say thank you to everyone who's donated so far. I'm very grateful to have a venue here, an outlet that I'm able to say thank you in person with, or as in person as I possibly can. Everyone who has donated $10 and over is going to get a postcard from me while I'm on the road anyway, saying thank you. I'm looking forward to buying those and writing, maybe not so much writing them, because my hand is going to fucking be really tired at the end, because I've got about 80 fucking postcards to write, but I'm looking forward to, you know, sending them out and saying hi. I'm looking forward to so many people that are going to be getting FilmSnobbery t-shirts, which is going to be awesome. Those FilmSnobbery B&D t-shirts, I'm so psyched to get those into the hands of so many people, and I hope that all of you who did, you know, get them are going to send us a picture of you guys with them on. So that's cool. And aside from that, man, I mean, we... And Nick better just buy a shitload of Wish You Were Her postcards. I wish they had those like in real life. I've never seen them like in the wild. I've only seen them on The Simpsons. Otherwise I would. I'd buy like a stat box of them or something. But I think it's going to be fun to buy like 10 postcards in like different states that I go through. Because I'm going to be going through quite a bit of the country, so it'll be, I think it'd be fun to people can almost kind of have like a roadmap in their head of where I was thinking about them and where I was in my trip. You know what I mean? Kind of fun. Anyway,
you put like secret clues on the back of them, and then when like people get them together, they can solve like mystery of FilmSnobbery.
It's funny. Maybe we should save like a special set that is like a collector's item of all the postcards from where I was, and whoever has all of them gets something.
Yeah, how would they get them?
I don't know. Fucking buy them on eBay. I don't know.
I was saying you put like a little written clue on each postcard, and then people have to like pick their postcards, so that way they're like promoting FilmSnobbery, and then like someone can take all the postcards and put them in order and solve like a clue. Sure. I was doing something kind of practical. You were like, everyone was getting this magical set.
It's like the Willy Wonka golden ticket.
Sure, not at all, but sure.
Not in the least, but whatever. It works for me. I guess this is the time where normally we would say, we'll see you next week, but we're not going to see you next week. We probably won't see you for upwards of a couple of months, but hopefully everyone out there doesn't kind of forget us.
Too late.
Fuck you. Hopefully everyone knows that we will be back. We'll have some videos and stuff like that we're going to be doing in the interim. Video we just posted on our Indiegogo campaign. An update we just did was a video from our new co-host, Leah Savoli. Excuse me. Leah Savoli about, her joining FilmSnobbery. So if you want to know more about that, go over to that and check it out. Let's see. Give me money. That's all I got. Jerry, it's been great having you as a co-host.
Well, thank you, Nick. It was great being a co-host, especially when you weren't like shitting all over me and stuff like Chuck and everything.
Okay, I've never shit. I shit on you constantly, sure, but I rarely shit on stuff like Chuck.
Lighting.
Okay, that's a fact. That's not shitting on anything. Okay?
You don't have to point it out, especially to people who haven't seen it.
Okay, look.
And then that makes them think like, oh, what a shitty movie. Even the host is making fun of it.
Look, I refuse to polish the turd that is Stuck Like Chuck in terms of lighting.
You're just not a fan of natural lighting.
No, I'm really not.
See? And there are people that love that. I mean, Mumblecore is built around that.
Let me have a little conversation with you about Mumblecore. Not on this show, though. I go back and forth with Mumblecore. I sometimes think that people use Mumblecore as an excuse to, like, literally not put any production value into their movies. They're like, I have no money anyway, and I have no talent, so I might as well just call it Mumblecore, and that's my excuse.
Yeah, well, that didn't work with me, because my movie was actually funny. And Mumblecore is supposed to be comedy that's not funny.
See,
but I was promoting it as Mumblecore that'll make you laugh, and Mumblecore that you can actually hear jokes like that. South by Southwest like that, so I didn't get them there.
No one really liked that. No one really likes you, Jerry, except for me.
Yeah, but people don't get my humor. But I would like to say thank you for having me on week after week. And thank you to the audience for not voting you off the show.
I would have loved to have voted you off old school Robin style. Like where they was like, remember when DC, back when they wanted to kill Robin off, they left it to a vote from the audience on whether or not the Joker was going to kill Robin. And then they did.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that, because as you said, like, literally less than 10 minutes ago, I'm not a huge comic guy.
I know, but these are like events that shape like not only comic book history, but like pop culture history.
I remember when Andy Kaufman was voted off of Saturday Night Live.
I remember that too.
Yeah, well, I remember that because I saw the movie Man on the Moon.
See, you remember all of that like wistfully. I don't know. What else?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to say it one more time?
Sure, thank you.
Not that.
Thank you, audience, and thank you, everyone who's supported me and keep following me on Twitter. and you have no idea how high I can fly. It's from the Olympics. And I'll say it one last time. Good night, good luck, stuff like Chuck, and JerryCavallaro.com.
And DirectorsCameo.com.
Sure, DirectorsCameo.com.
Yes. And for more updates on what we're doing, FilmSnobbery.com, Twitter.com/FilmSnobbery. If you want to continue following Jerry, although I don't know why you would, Twitter.com/GetStuck. See, I'm all choked up.
You're getting choked up.
I'm all choked up. I'm also choked up. And also Facebook.com/FilmSnobbery. Check you guys out in Los Angeles. We leave on Sunday, or I leave on Sunday. So we'll see you guys with maybe a video along the way or two along the way. I think I'm stopping at the Cincinnati Film Festival on the way, and I'll be across the country visiting other filmmakers. So if you're in New York, Ohio, Chicago, Kansas, Colorado, preferably around Colorado Springs, Las Vegas, or Los Angeles, we'll see you in the next week or so. Have a good one, everyone. Good night.